Hello, good morning. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. If you are new, my name is Kylie and I live full-time out of a camper with my husband Jay. We are starting a pretty big RV renovation today. Mom came over the other day with an idea of how to give us more space in here. Space has really been hard in here. It's been tough with two people. It was great when it was just me, but it's not just me anymore. And so Mom had an idea on how to maximize the space, and I thought it was an amazing idea. So we're starting today. First thing we're doing is taking out this couch, and later the dinette has to come out. I already took everything off of the couch here. The couch and the dinette are kind of a catch-all, so a lot of things just get thrown on there and nothing looks organized, but I think we're gonna find a way to fix it, and we're gonna get a second desk in here so Jay and I can both have desks, which is so exciting. I'm gonna start by trying to take out this couch. I found a video on how to take out a jackknife sofa from the RV. Never done it before, but we're gonna get started. I'm so excited. So there are 2 bolts here and 2 bolts on this side, and that's what he said to start with, to take the lower cushion off, and then I think the top cushion comes off in a different way. I didn't watch that far ahead, but he said to take these 2 bolts off. So I gotta get a socket wrench. Don't quote me on that. I don't know what things are called, I just know what I need, so. This is for you guys as much as it is for future me. I'm putting these bolts and everything from the couch in a bag that says couch in Kai's RV, and then I'm writing 14mm because that's what I needed to take everything off, so I don't lose any of the parts that I need maybe in the future. I probably won't need them, but you never know. Apparently this thing just lifts off. And then I need to take these bolts here out of the frame to lift the whole frame up and out. So for this part, I did need an extension for the socket wrench that I was using, just because the regular part didn't fit on the bolt. It was too far down, so I did have to use an extension. But once I got that, I just took the 4 bolts off of the frame that was connecting it to the metal pieces that are screwed into the wall. And after that, it was just super easy. It all lifted out all at once. And just like that, the futon is out. It was actually a lot easier than I thought it was gonna be. Still have to take these things off, get all this stuff cleared out. This is all what sat behind my sofa. Good evening. Mom and I just got home from the Home Depot, picked up a couple things that we needed, so we're still at the same point, but I have my trusty paint shirt on, which you know what that means. If you watch the renovation vlogs, you know. I need to paint all this wood here all to be the same color as the blue before we can get going on that. Shout out to the lady at the Home Depot because she had to color match my paint. I went back to my previous videos, which it's so nice to have my entire life documented on the internet because then I can just go back and find stuff. But I found the color that I used and I looked it up and I was like, that doesn't seem like the color. But then I went to the next video, and when I painted this, I realized I didn't like the color, so then I mixed it myself. So she had to paint match it, and she did. And she did a little tester on the piece that we brought in, and it looks exactly the same. And we got a paint and primer this time, so I don't have to do 2 coats of primer and then 2 coats of paint. I can just paint, and hopefully it looks pretty good. So I'm gonna get started on that before dinner, and that's probably gonna be the last thing I do for the night. So I'm gonna get painting. Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy New Year's. It's actually New Year's Day. Happy 2025. We are working on the project here this morning, and we actually changed the plan. I know I kind of told you a little bit about the plan. I really shouldn't have done that because our plans when we start projects versus how they actually turn out never is the same. But this is what we're doing. So Dad's right here. We As a oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
As a family, we're all just sitting here, Dad, Mom, me and Jay, debating if we need this water tank. I don't want to hear anything about it. It's already happened at this point. We're taking the water tank out. We will be keeping the tank just in case, because if we decide to sell the RV down the line, if somebody wants it, then we still have it. But personally, we would rather have the storage space, and it just makes sense to take it out. So this water tank is coming out, and this entire area is going to be storage under here, which is going to be so incredibly nice for us to have. But that means we have to do some demo, so let's get started. So here, Dad and Jay are working on taking the water pump out. Dad had to do some wire cutting and got the pump out, but after that, the tank just lifted out. The staples that were holding this frame in with the carpet were so strong, so that took a little bit of time, but once we got that out, we just cleaned it up, and I painted this little piece that I missed behind the water tank. So now to build the frame, what Mom and Dad are doing are stripping down 2x4s. The 2x4s were actually cheaper than the 2x2s that we wanted to use, and so they're just ripping it in half with the table saw. They ripped a bunch of them in half, and then we went along and built the frame out of 2x2s. So what I'm working on with these boards is I am drilling the holes because we're going to put shelving in. So I'm drilling holes for these things so that these will sit in here and hold the shelf boards. But I need to make sure they're all even and all the exact same so that when these go in, the shelf sits even. So that's what I'm working on. So what I did was I lined the boards up on the straight edge with all the bottoms down. And then I made a mark on each of the boards at a 1-inch interval. And then I just took my square edge and I drew a line across all of the boards at each 1-inch mark that I had made so that I knew where to drill the holes on each board. So I made sure that they stayed lined up perfectly, and I drew quite a few lines on each, and that's where I knew to use my drill bit. Hello, we've been at this just about all day, but here's the state of the union. We've got half a box built. A lot of what we've been doing is just trying to figure out how we want things to lay out. So it's just been sitting here like staring at this space, and then every once in a while cutting a board. I've been working on cutting these holes in for the shelving that is going to go in here. And Dad is pre-drilling and drilling and doing a bunch of stuff. Mom and Jay went to Lowe's to get some more stuff. So I'm going to finish up my last 3 boards. I was giving my hand a little bit of a break. We're making good progress here.
So your tank was here?
Yeah.
See how this is?
Yes.
That would have been here where the tank is. And
Yeah.
then up. And then this would have still been this. I would have screwed this in here like this, just like this, except this would be cut off.
Yeah.
And then across and across, and then you would have put a whole thing across here.
Right. Yep.
The difference between what we're doing now. Now you have this space.
Yeah.
To where it would have been up
Yeah,
here.
that would be really nice. You sure you want to do this one first?
So this one you just go tight against the wall and flush on top.
Guys, I built myself into a box. This is what our box looked like. This is where the countertop is going. We're gonna have 2 doors right here. This is gonna be like open space, except this here is gonna be covered. So. We're back working on the frame this morning. We just got that board nailed in, as you saw. We're getting the countertop all situated this morning, as well as figuring out how my computer is gonna fit in there. We figured that Jay's gonna keep this desk, please forgive the mess, and I'm gonna be taking the new one just because that's how things are gonna work out. So we're working on getting storage and all that stuff done today. How are we feeling about the vision?
The vision looks good. All is well.
All is well.
All is well.
Yeah, so
Well is all.
we're doing good, but we're gonna keep working.
Wrap it, you know. See, look, this one has it too, because it's slid on something.
Go team. Nice.
And I brought your level.
Thank you.
Looks really good. Look at all this. Looks like a real box now. So this that I'm working on is going to be where my keyboard and mouse are. So I'm just putting the L brackets in to keep the shelf on the sliding brackets. And then we're going to cover this with the compact paper as well, so it all looks like a cohesive unit. And then the slide can go in and out as I need it to save space. Hello. Tons of progress has been made on both the desk here and our bench. A lot of it happened when I was at work. This is, I would say, 95% done here. So we got a new monitor. It's just like the one that I got. It's the same brand and everything, same size, but just like a newer model basically. These doors got put on. This is in here. This has to get painted blue still and attached, so that's not quite done. And we still have a raw countertop, so what we're working on today is trying to get the countertop covered. I bought the exact same paper that is on the rest of my countertops, like that concrete looking one, and that's what's going here. So I have a little bit more sanding to do here to make this a flush edge, but we're trying to drill the holes in the corner where the cords are going to go down before we put the paper on. So that's kind of what we're working on right now, getting all that done. Mom's in here helping me. And then once we get the holes drilled, I can put the paper on. So that's what we're working on now. We're using a 2-inch hole saw here attached to my drill to drill this hole down. And then we have this grommet here that has this cover that is going to sit down in that hole. So that's what we're doing. That looks great. Yippee! It moves around a little, but that's fine.
Alright, so you know how to fix that?
No.
Take a little piece of alien tape and put it around the edge and then drop it in.
Alright, here's our little grommet. So I drilled the hole here, and then the grommet goes in, cover goes on, and then we can hide my cords. And we have these little shelves here. They're gonna sit in front of the hole here, so all my cords can drop down and everything will be hidden. So Jay and I are finally working on getting the paper on the top of the countertop. Like I said, I just ordered some regular contact paper. It's the same contact paper I used in the rest of the camper. So I just bought 1 roll, but you'll see a little bit later on, I should have bought 2. But we did get everything covered. So what we did was we cut our really big piece that went all the way across, and then I pulled up the corner, and then we just slowly peeled that back, making sure it stayed straight. And how you put on regular contact paper, we just had to make sure we had enough to roll over for the edge. So that's pretty much was our biggest concern when we were doing this, is making sure it stayed straight for that part. But then I just smoothed it down. It was really nice to have an extra set of hands. Normally I have to do contact paper by myself, but Jay and I doing it together, we made really quick work of it, and it turned out really nice. Guys, it's finally done! Look at the nice concrete slab here. Looks so good. And then we covered this, but we didn't quite have enough, so like this part is still, so I'm gonna have to order another roll, which kind of stinks, but if I don't pull it out all the way, you can't see it. But now I'm gonna get everything put on the desk, all my cords ran, all that stuff. It's gonna be painstaking process, but we're gonna get there. And to run the cords here, what we had to do was Jay had to help me. He had to go outside and plug in the cord through the little door that I have access to from the outside right there at the back of the camper. And he would have to feed the cord up through the hole for me to grab. And we would just had to do that to get all the cords run. But here is the final product.